Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is the 29th April 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training lessons are available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. To access all the training lessons, click on the tab Posts. Some of you might be seeing Community tab. Click on the tab. You get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that will take you to all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course. Here you have all the training lessons are available. Just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to the training instructions I provided at our Telegram channel. You can access the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. Once you join in the Telegram channel, at the top of the Telegram channel window, you can find pinned messages. Go to the pinned messages, and one of the messages are having all the training instructions. If you learn the course according to those training instructions, then only it will be helpful to you. You will become a very good independent trader in the coming months time period. Please make use of this opportunity. Okay, now I am going to generate different supply demand zone chain reports. Different supply demand zone reports. So first I am going to generate NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. So starting with NIFTY, generating monthly supply demand zone chain. So this is NIFTY monthly supply demand zone chain. Always look into the zone column to find high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. In this example, monthly is the current time frame, monthly trend is uptrend. This is the way you should understand the remaining reports. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. Please remember these rules. Okay, next, generating a weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, just a minute. Let me get. Here you have all the supply zones, right? The nearest demand zone is serial number 22. So what I do, let me adjust the report in the middle. Okay, now you have equal number of demand zones and supply zones. Nearest demand and supply zones are at serial number 22 and 21. But 22 is a Pierce demand zone. Okay. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Serial number 29 is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. Let me put this in the middle of the screen. Okay, this is about NIFTY supply demand zone chain. Next, I will generate BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Going back, changing the name to NIFTY Bank. That is nothing but BANKNIFTY. Generating monthly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. So this is about BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. So with this we have completed both NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Next, I will generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. Before that, let me check the process is ready. Yes, it is ready. And while I will also shut down the database. Okay. Now starting with the yearly time frame, price closed inside the yearly demand zone. We got 4 stocks. Don't forget, I am giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. So pause the video and then study and then proceed further. Okay, next. Price closed inside the half-yearly supply zone. No stocks are available. Half-yearly time frame. Stocks near half-yearly demand zone. No stocks. Near half-yearly supply zone. Also no stocks. Price closed inside the half-yearly demand zone. 1 stock is filtered. Next, price closed inside the half-yearly supply zone. 4 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone. No stocks. Stocks near quarterly supply zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, we got 18 stocks. We can further filter based on the EMA confluence, quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence. I enable the filter, and also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Now 9 stocks are filtered. Price closed inside the quarterly demand zone. And also all these quarterly demand zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. Always look into the search strategy to understand how we are filtering these stocks. Next, quarterly time frame. Price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 14 stocks. So let's verify how many quarterly supply zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. Four stocks are filtered. Okay, next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. No stocks are available. Stocks near monthly supply zone. 10 stocks are filtered. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 25 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. So now the list is come down to 8 stocks. All these 8 stocks price closed inside the monthly demand zone, and all these monthly demand zones are having monthly EMA confluence as given in the search strategy. Okay, next, monthly time frame. Price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 32 stocks are filtered. So let's verify out of these 32 how many monthly supply zones are having monthly EMA confluence. So total we got 17 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. Even Nifty 50 is also there in this list. That is current price closed inside the monthly supply zone, and that monthly supply zone is having monthly EMA confluence. Scrolling the list down, total 17 stocks are filtered. Okay, next time frame is a weekly. Stocks near weekly demand zone. We got 7 stocks. Next, stocks near weekly supply zone. We got 14 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. We got 7 stocks. Let's further filter how many are having weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. From the 7, 3 stocks are filtered. Okay, next, a weekly time frame. Price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 74 stocks are filtered. Let us further filter this list based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways, it can be up or down. Now the list is reduced. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 28 stocks are filtered. So this is about weekly time frame. Next time frame is a daily. Entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near to the daily demand zone. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 19 stocks are filtered. Stocks near to the daily demand zone. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. NIFTY reality, but it is not listed in F&O. I am ignoring it. Ashok Leyland is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. Bajaj Auto is having high liquidity demand zone. Escorts is having a daily high liquidity demand zone, also having daily high liquidity supply zone also. Sometimes either side we get trade opportunities. When a stock is having both the high liquid demand and supply zones are high liquidity. Next, HDFC Bank is having a high liquidity demand zone. This is the all-time high daily demand zone. Tata Tech is also having a daily high liquidity demand zone. So total we identified 5 daily high liquidity demand zones from this list. Okay. Next, for daily time frame, let us find the stocks near to the daily supply zone. We got 13 stocks. Let us identify daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. Coforge is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. SBI card is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. That's it. We have identified 2 daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. Next, for daily time frame, price closed inside the daily supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list, first 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 28 stocks are filtered. Let us further filter this list based on daily demand zones having daily EMA confluence. And also trend on the daily should not be sideways. It can be up or down. We got 14 stocks. These 14 daily demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. Some of these zones are pierced zones. You can apply pierced zone strategies. Okay, next, for daily time frame, price closed inside the daily supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 52 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on daily supply zones having daily EMA confluence. In the EMA at daily, so with these filters, the list is come down to 11 stocks. So these 11 daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. Some of these daily supply zones are pierced supply zones. So this is about daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Next, stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. We got 9 stocks. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. We got 15 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity zones from this list. NIFTY oil and gas is not listed in F&O. I am ignoring it. So HR Motors is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Sun Pharma is having high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone. That's it. We identified two 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Okay, next, for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near to the 75 minute supply zone. We got 9 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity supply zones from this list. ABFR is already pierced 5 times. We can't use it for HLQ zone. But those who are having interest, you can apply pierced zone strategies on this stock. Interesting, 5 times it is pierced. Apollo is also not valid because it is a pierced zone. CAMS is having a high liquidity zone. Trent is having a high liquidity zone. And VBL is not valid. It is already pierced 3 times. Maybe those who are having interest, you can also look into this pierced zone to find any pierced zone strategies. Okay, but we have two valid high liquidity 75 minute supply zones from this list. So with this we have completed identifying high liquidity zones from daily and 75 minutes time frame. Okay, next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. We got 3 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 25 minute supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. We got 3 stocks. Let's filter based on zone confluence. That is 15 minutes demand zone and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Out of those 3, 2 are having. These 2 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Okay, next 15 minutes time frame. Stocks near to the 15 minute supply zone, we got 8 stocks. Let's further filter based on the supply zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. I enable the filter. Now we got 4 stocks. These 4 15 minute supply zones overlapped with 75 minutes supply zone. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near to the 5 minutes demand zone, we got 11 stocks. Okay, we can further filter based on the 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. Now we got 5 stocks. Out of these 5, third one is PR zone, you can ignore it. Okay, next for 5 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 5 minute supply zone, 9 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on 5 minute supply zone confluence with 15 minutes supply zone. With this filter, we got 3 stocks. Out of these 3, first one is a PR supply zone, ignore it. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. Next, we will generate bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trades. Starting with monthly income trade bullish trade setup, entry time frame daily, entry is on demand zone, bullish or bearish. At daily, I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and hands score should be 12. With these filters, we got 20 stocks. First 18 stocks in the list. Nifty Bank is also in the list. This is bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame zone is daily demand zone. Scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks are filtered. Out of these 20, let us identify high probability trade setup supported daily demand zones based on the zone confluence. So I am going back, adding the first zone confluence filter, LTF, ITF, demand zone confluence. LTF is daily, ITF is weekly. So daily and weekly demand zone confluence. I enable the filter. Now the list is come down to 9 stocks. In all these 9 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zones. And weekly trend is up in all the stocks. Weekly trend is ITF trend. Because trend is up, if any weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence, then the overlapped daily demand zone inside the weekly demand zone is having even more high probability to get success. So let's filter. In the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA. Anyway, weekly trend is up. So EMA confluence makes sense. Let's filter. So 6 stocks are filtered. So these 6 daily demand zones are having more high probability to get success to compare it to the other stocks. Maybe that is the reason why some of the stocks, see, already they tested. Here Bajaj Finance is tested 3 times. Previous reports, those stocks might have been listed and those who took the trades would have got profits. Okay. So this is about LTF, ITF and ITF EMA confluence. Next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence. That is daily, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled, daily, weekly. Next, daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. Next, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zones. And both together again overlapped with monthly demand zones. And monthly trend is up in 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, if any monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, then these overlapped daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success. So let's filter. So in the EMA at monthly, I am giving monthly demand zone with monthly EMA confluence. At the same time, trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. Let's filter. So both these stocks are filtered. So both these stocks are having even more high probability to get success if prices entered into these demand zones. Okay, next, this is a bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone supply zone, bullish or bearish. At daily, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd enhancer score 12. With these filters, we got 3 stocks. Bearish trade setup for monthly income trade, and entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. Let's verify out of these 3 how many are having high probability to get success. First, daily and weekly supply zone confluence. So I enabled the filter. Out of 3, we got all the 3 stocks. So that means these daily supply zones overlapped with weekly supply zone. And weekly trend is down in all the 3. So let's verify EMA confluence on weekly time frame. Weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. At the same time, trend is a downtrend. No filters are required. Let's filter directly. 2 are filtered, having downtrend. So these 2 daily supply zones might be having more high probability to get success. See, that is the reason why this zone is already tested 2 times and this zone is already tested 2 times, including the rejection 3 times it is tested. Okay. Next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled, daily with weekly. Next, daily and monthly supply zone confluence, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters enabled, we got all the 3 stocks. That means in all the 3 stocks, these daily supply zones overlapped with weekly supply zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly supply zone. And monthly trend is down in the 3rd stock. So in this stock, if monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence, then the overlapped daily supply zone might be having more high probability to get success. So let's filter EMA confluence at monthly, checking monthly supply zone with monthly EMA confluence, and also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be downtrend. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So this one stock is filtered having monthly trend downtrend. So that way this daily supply zone is having even more high probability to get success. So this is about bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frames, daily zones, daily supply zone. Okay. Next, we will look into weekly income trades. First weekly income trade, bullish trade setup, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish at 75 minutes. I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhancer score 12, and 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone pierced count should be 0. Zone pierced count 0 means the zone is not pierced. Which zone? The one you selected here, 75 minutes demand zone. Should not be pierced. Let's filter. We got 10 stocks. These 10 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. All these are all 75 minutes demand zones. So total 10 75 minutes demand zones are filtered. Out of these 10, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on the zone confluence. First filter, 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. This is the filter. This is LTF and ITF. LTF is 75, ITF is daily. Both the demand zones confluence. So 6 stocks are filtered. That means in all the 6 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with the daily demand zones. And daily trend is up in all the stocks. So that's why let's verify if daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. In that case, the overlapped 75 minutes demand zone inside daily is having even more high probability to get success. So I'm going back. EMA confluence at daily time frame. I'm checking daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks. So these 3 75 minutes demand zones are having even more high probability to get success. See, that is the reason why this stock is already tested 4 times, including rejection 7 times it is tested. This is already tested 2 times. Because they have high probability to get success. Okay, next we will filter based on LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. That is 75 minutes daily and weekly demand zone confluence. Remove EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter 75 and daily zone confluence enabled. 75 and weekly demand zone confluence. Daily and weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters enabled, we got only 1 stock. In this stock, daily demand zone overlapped with weekly demand. Both daily, weekly together overlapped with, 75 overlapped with daily. Both 75 and daily overlapped with weekly. And weekly trend is up. Let's check if this zone is having weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. So it is filtered. So that means this zone is having even more high probability to get success. That is the main reason why it is tested so many times so far. Okay, this is about a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish at 75 minutes, selecting bearish, zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhancer score 12, and also 75 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 11 stocks. All these 11 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minutes supply zones. All these supply zones are entry time frame supply zones. So 11 stocks. Out of these 11 75 minute supply zones, how many are having even more high probability to get success. That we will filter based on the supply zone confluence. That is the LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. First filter, that is 75 minutes with daily supply zone confluence. So I am enabling the filter. With this filter, out of 11, we got all 11 stocks are filtered. That means in all the 11 stocks, these 75-minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. And the daily supply zone, daily trend is down in all the stocks, ITF trend. So let's filter based on the daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. Daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. With this filter, list is come down to 5 stocks from 11. So these 5 75-minute supply zones are having even more high probability to get success. Maybe that is the reason why see already some of the supply zones are tested. Okay. Next, let us filter based on LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stock. 75 minutes, daily and weekly supply zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled, that is 75 with daily supply zone confluence. Next, 75 and weekly supply zone confluence, daily and weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, these 75-minute supply zones are overlapped with the daily supply zone. Again, both together overlapped with weekly supply zone. And weekly means HTF. Weekly trend is down in only 2 stocks. So in these 2 stocks, if any of the weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA confluence, then the overlapped daily supply zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. I am going back in the EMA confluence at weekly. I am checking weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, and also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. Let's filter. Both the stocks are filtered. So that's why these 2 stocks are having even more high probability to get success. That's why these 2 zones are already, see, this one is already tested 2 times. This is already tested once. Maybe recently it might have been tested. The previous reports, if this stock was there, maybe some of you might have already took the trade in this stock. So this is about a bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, we will look into daily income trade supported stocks. So first, daily income trade bullish trade setup. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone demand zone, bullish or bearish at 15 minutes. I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd and enhancer score 12. And also 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 8 stocks. These 8 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. And the entry time frame zones are these 15 minutes demand zones. So we got 8 15 minutes demand zones. Out of these 8, some of the 15 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success. Let us filter them based on the zone confluence. I am going back. First filter LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With this filter, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, these 3 15 minutes demand zones overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is up in all the three stocks. Let's verify any of the 75 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. Two stocks are filtered. So these two 75 minutes demand zones might be having more probability to get success. That is the reason why they are already tested. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. That is 15 minutes, 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, I should set three filters. First filter is already enabled, 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Next 15 minutes and daily demand zone confluence, 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. With all the three filters, we got one stock. So in this stock, this demand zone, the 15 minutes demand zone overlapped with 75, both together overlapped with daily. But daily trend is sideways, we are not checking EMA confluence, it won't give any extra advantage. But because of the zone confluence, it is already tested 2 times. Okay. Next we will look into, this is bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next we will look into bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone supply zone, bullish or bearish at 15 minutes, selecting bearish, zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhancer score 12, and also 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. In the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 10 stocks. So these 10 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. And entry time frame zones are 15 minutes supply zones. So total we got 10 stocks. Out of these 10, 15 minute supply zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we need to find. So that we filter based on the zone confluence. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, out of 10 stocks, we got 7 stocks. In these 7 stocks, these 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. And 75 minutes trend is down in all the stocks. Let's verify if any of these 75 minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. So one stock is filtered. So this 15 minute supply zone is having more high probability to get success. That's why it is already tested 12 times. But RR is not there. Okay. Next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled. Next 15 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 5 stocks. In these 5 stocks, these 5 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily means HTF. Daily trend is down in 2 stocks. So in these two stocks, if any of the daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, then the overlapped 15-minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success. Let's verify. EMA confluence at daily time frame. I'm checking daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. At the same time, trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So both these stocks are filtered. So both these stocks are having more high probability to get success. So this is bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Next we will look into hourly income trade supported stocks. Entry time frame 5 minutes, entry is on demand zone, bullish or bearish at 5 minutes. Bullish I selected, zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd enhance score 12, and also 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. The pierced count 5 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 6 stocks. These 6 are supporting bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 5 minutes demand zones. So we got 6 stocks. Out of these 6, how many of these 5 minutes demand zones are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on the zone confluence. First filter 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. So all 6 stocks are filtered. In all the stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones overlapped with 15 minutes demand zones. Okay, 15 minutes trend is up. Let's check if any 15 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. None of them are having daily. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. That is 5 minutes, 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. First filter is already enabled. Next 5 minutes with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters enabled, we got 3 stocks. In all the 3 5 minutes demand zones overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. 75 minutes trend is up in only one stock. Let's check if this stock is having any 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. At the same time, trend at 75 should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So it is not having any EMA confluence. Okay, it is bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish at 5 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd enhance score 12, and also 5 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in 5 minutes time frame I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters we got 9 stocks. These 9 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 5 minute supply zones. All these are all 5 minute supply zones. Total 9. Out of these 9, let us find any high probability trade setup supported zones are available based on the zone confluence. First filter is 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone confluence. So with this filter, out of 9, 6 are filtered. So in these 6 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zone, and 15 minutes trend is down in all the stocks. Let's verify if any of the stocks are having 15 minutes supply zone having daily EMA confluence. So none of those zones are having EMA. So no high probability trade setup stocks. Next we will identify based on LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone Confluence. Removing EMA filter. Supply zone Confluence. 3 filters I have to set. First filter is already enabled. What happened? Yeah, here first filter is already enabled. Next 5 minutes supply zone and 75 minutes supply zone Confluence. 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, these 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zone, both together again overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. And 75 means HTF. HTF trend is down in only one stock. Let us check if this supply zone is having daily EMA Confluence. If that is the case, this 15 minute supply zone, this 5 minute supply zone might be having more high probability. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA Confluence. At the same time, trend on the 75 should not be sideways. It should be only downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So that stock is not having any daily EMA Confluence. That means we don't have any high probability trade setup supported zones based on EMA Confluence. So this is about bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. And in the final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I'm scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video. After that you can proceed further. Okay, I'm scrolling the list down. I think something is jumped again. Let me repeat again. Sorry. This is the first page. This is second page. This is the third page. Fourth page. Fifth page. Sixth and final page. Okay. These are the daily ATRs and the respective percentage values for your stop buffers. So this is the end of the report. I hope this report information might be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.